Way to go, Miller Lite and Pepsi, for sponsoring this movie. I'm Jackie.
To convict or not to convict? That is the question. I'm Justin.
Show me the lack of money. I'm Sam, and this is 1998's A Murder of Crows on Stinker Madness.
Hello, and welcome to Stinker Madness, a podcast about bad movies for bad movie lovers by bad movie lovers. I'm your host, Justin. With me are always Sam and Jackie. This week on the show from, I thought it was 1999, but whatever, late 90s, A Murder of Crows.
98, 99.
Yeah. A Murder of Crows starring Tom Berenger, Cuba Gooding Jr., a few other character actors that we've seen before. The guy that dies in Dead Man on Compass, who we can never remember his name until Sam
Lachlan
says it.
Monroe.
Then we forget it. Currently streaming on Tubi TV. Sam, we've got a lot to cover, so I hope that you are ready to go with your boring bullshit. Go.
Well, this week was supposed to have been the Rhapsody. We didn't want to rent something that was going to be a real question mark, and for whatever reason, I decided not to do The Substitute. The Substitute was streaming on Plex only, but it's a head scratcher. I can't decide if it's a good movie. I'll talk about it a little bit in a second. One, Thomas Michael Moore of Chicago, Illinois, graduated from the University of Missouri with a bachelor's in journalism in 1971. Okay. He preferred acting and worked as a flight attendant and did regional theaters, transferred his port of call in his flight attendant career to New York in 1973 and took the name Berenger professionally, as there was already a Tom Moore in the New York Actors Equity Association. In 1975, he would land a solid gig on One Life to Live. In 1977, he would star opposite Diane Keaton in Looking for Mr. Goodbar, which I do not recommend watching whatsoever.
Okay.
83, The Big Chill, Lawrence Kasdan. That thing hits like a ton of bricks, even though critically, I think the reception is a bit mixed on that one still, because I think that it's like people don't really get behind it because of what it says or doesn't say.
I'm pretty mid on it, but I think the soundtrack was a big draw too. Then in 1986, of course, he would get nominated for an Academy Award starring as Sergeant Bob Barnes in Platoon. Yep.
Big deal.
He did that.
One would have thought that the ensemble cast in Major League and how that sort of all played out would have been kind of the beginning of the fade of the Berenger. But oddly, he would take a couple of strange projects. One, in 1993, and these are both fringe pictures, too. They're like, maybe we put it in the theater, maybe it goes direct to the shelf. It's just sort of like a toss-up. So in 1993, does Sniper. $5 million movie, could go right to the shelf. You don't know. Right. Turns out a little bit better than they thought. It returns 15 on that 5 theatrically. And then again in 96, does it again with The Substitute. Same thing, 15 million on a $5 million. And both pictures are just markedly better than they should have been when you really look at what was going on with them. But I think the one thing that they have that makes them that much better is Berenger. He's like on screen in like 90% of both of those movies. And I have never done either one of them for this podcast because they're just so much better than they should be. So it's like they're good movies, basically, even though they should be terrible.
They should be, but they're not. So I don't think they fit. I don't think this movie
they don't really fit. So we did this piece of shit instead. Substitute would get 3 sequels, all starring Treat Williams. Guess how many Sniper sequels there are?
Like 100.
There's fucking 10.
Yeah, and they all have Berenger in them too.
No. Zane and Berenger sprinkle their way through.
Okay,
I don't think
doing a lot though.
He's been in quite a few of them.
Yeah, he's in the latest 3 as well.
Yeah, he's not doing much. Why wouldn't you at this point? It's better than that shit that had his butt in it.
Yeah. Well,
Sniper 17, Berenger takes a nap again. But at least we don't have to look at his ass.
Yeah. For comedy.
So this is really riding off of the heels of Jerry Maguire. So this is produced by Cuba Gooding Jr. This is a Cuba Gooding Jr. vehicle for Cuba Gooding Jr.
Right.
And he would have the luxury of kind of being a leading man for a few more years after this. I would think that with the Cuba, his bubble bursts with Snow Dogs or Boat Trip, one of those two, right?
Wasn't Radio?
Radio was an independent film, quote unquote. So that's not a Hollywood movie. Boat Trip and Snow Dogs are Hollywood movies, right? Yeah, those are butts in seats that got not filled. Okay. Did you see? Have either one of you seen either Boat Trip or Snow Dogs?
I have not. Jackie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, neither have I.
I did see Rat Race though, and Rat Race is amazing.
Isn't that just like it's a Wild World remake?
Yeah, pretty much. But it's fun. It's fun.
I'm sure.
It's got Cuba.
It's got everybody, though, doesn't it?
It's got everybody.
It's got everybody, yeah. What's odd, I think there's two things that are odd. We don't usually do these legal procedurals because they're stupid and they're boring, generally, if they're not good. And if they're good, they're usually stupid and boring. This is not based on a novel.
Okay.
It's also written and directed by Rowdy Herrington, who would bring us such screen gems as Roadhouse and Striking Distance with Bruce Willis. So I find that strange. One, it's not... I mean, this isn't... The writing's not good.
No.
Spoiler alert, I figured it out. I wrote down when I had it all the way figured out, and it was at 43 minutes and 16 seconds into the movie.
I think Jackie got you at about 17 minutes.
17 minutes?
A lot. Yeah, we took a break really early, and she was like, here's what's going to happen. And she was totally right.
Okay. I was close on the early end, but at 43, I had every single detail. Either way, you're not... You know what's happening. No matter how... closely or loosely you're paying attention to it, you're gonna fucking figure it out real quick. But it's interesting that you'd get like the Roadhouse guy to make this sort of quote unquote smart picture, and
like an Agatha Christie who it's not a whodunit. It kind of is a whodunit, but it's not totally. It's a how's he gonna get out of it. But yeah, the Roadhouse guy for directing The Glass Onion. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Not that I have anything against Rowdy Herrington. I'm all about it. I'm like, yeah, fucking A, man.
Right.
I want my Rowdy Herrington like I want my action movies with guns or whatever. But this is not what I want Rowdy Herrington doing, I guess.
I do not.
The music at the beginning, I wanted to accuse Mike Post of veering into Hollywood, not staying in his lane. Yeah, did you notice that was really fucking Law and Order-esque?
Yeah, it was
on the front end.
Yeah, it was pretty terrible.
It wasn't Mike Post. It was Steve Porcaro, who, of course, is one of the Porcaro brothers from Toto.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. He was also really good as the science teacher in The Wonder Years and on Star Trek Voyager. Mike Porcaro. Right?
No, that's the other one. Mike Porcaro was the guitarist. Steve Porcaro was the keyboardist. One of the keyboardists, because Toto had two keyboardists. One of the main two guys is the other keyboardist. And then the founding Porcaro is Jeff, the drummer.
Making my usual joke on people's names, Sam, that I have to explain to you. Richard Picardo. Jesus.
Okay.
God.
Totally different guy.
I know, that's the joke. Jesus, I've been doing this for 10 years. And you're like, well, no, that's from Toto.
Well, I had to fucking spend 10 minutes figuring out which Porcaro was which in Toto. Of course I'm going to be confused.
Neither of them were in The Wonder Years or Star Trek Voyager. But Richard
I don't
Picardo
know that.
Was.
I don't remember shit about The Wonder Years.
Okay. Right.
I don't wonder. I never watched The Wonder Years.
The only thing I remember specifically, other than the premise, is Voulez-vous du Bé, which that's one of his Kevin's buddies. He's like, how do I pick up chicks? And he's like, well, you speak French. And so the only thing he knew was Voulez-vous du Bé, which translates to, would you like some butter? And so he used that on a lady, and it worked because she didn't speak French either. So he just Voulez-vous du Bé. She was like, oh, ooh,
I remember Winnie Cooper, and that's it.
Yeah, Winnie
I don't
Cooper,
even remember what she looks like, just the name.
Yep.
The lady that plays his publisher, did you guys recognize her?
No, not really.
She plays Chrissy Cotton in all the Hellraiser movies.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where her nipple piercings came from.
They could have really worked a Hellraiser angle into here and spiced some things up.
They call her Pintit.
Yeah. And once again, Eric Stoltz just can't catch a break.
Yeah, right.
Like, man, that guy can't win.
He didn't he get nominated for Elephant? Or what is it called? The elephant, not the Elephant Boy.
Yeah, he got nominated for a Golden Globe for Mask.
And
that's like the beginning of his career.
Right.
And so he's pretty good. He's interesting enough. I was going to say that's the one that if you were going to like, what went really well for him? And I would say Memphis Belle.
I mean, he's
Pulp Fiction. He's in it for like 10
small
seconds.
Role, yeah, in Pulp Fiction. I think he did a couple other things that are like, oh, okay, but not as a lead. I don't think he ever had a good lead other than Mask.
Yeah, no. Just can't win, that guy. Caprica. Well, that one fucking went down in flames.
Yeah. Old Eric Stoltz. All right, what else? Yeah. Anything?
That's it. I mean, this is a Cuba Gooding. Oh, like I could talk about how Cuba Gooding Jr. was involved in all of the Puff Daddy business.
Oh, no, he was.
Yeah. He was?
So that's most recent. It seems that at best he's a butt grabber, and at worst he's just a guy that has got a littered past of sexual misconducts.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good at all. Ugh. God damn it.
Yep.
No, I don't want to talk about this movie. Yeah. Okay, but we have to because that's the rules, and I'm not going to watch another one today. I was just about to say something.
I know the guy that was. This is right around the time that Tierra was doing stunt coordinating for him. So Tierra is, of course, on the credit list as stunt coordinator for this film. There was some stunts a little bit on this one, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. Didn't you say that this has got an RT score of 0?
Yeah. But it's only got 5 reviews, so it's right on that cusp of where you can't get a good reading on RT. But I bet if it had 30 reviews, it would still have a 0, because here's the thing. If you were grading this on a scale of 0 to 100 in percentages, I bet you would put it somewhere in the 40s. Mm. But so would everybody else, which would give it a 0 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay.
It's got a 6.3 user on IMDb, and I think that's fucking high.
Super high, but people like this type of crap. They get duped by it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this one a little differently. I'm going to come out right out of the gate and skip to final recommendations, and I'm going to give this movie a do not. I didn't enjoy it. It's fair to middling as a crime procedural. Like I say, is he going to get away with it? Or how's he going to get out of this whodunit? But it completely falls apart in the last maybe 3 minutes of the movie. I mean, just shits the fucking bed hard. So hard that I'm like, I mean, is that the hook for a bad movie, is to watch a middling and then be like, whoa, I'm going to tell people to spend an hour and 40 minutes just to get to 3 minutes of going, dude, that's dumb. No, I'm not going to do that to people. It's not worth your time. But so instead of how we're going to do this, we're going to put in on our if I could speak English, it'd probably help.
Sure.
We're going to put on our true crime podcast hats. For some reason, that is really hard to say. It took me 4 times. And we are going to determine as the investigators, the jury of this film, is he guilty or not guilty? We have to make a consensus. Is he guilty or not guilty? We also have to determine if there was a crime committed and what that crime was. That is our jobs into this. And so that's why we're going to do the usual plot synopsis breakdown, is because we're looking for clues throughout this entire thing so that at the end, when we have to determine as the jury if he's guilty or not guilty, we have done our due diligence. Well,
I can tell you right now that there's one guilty party in the first minute of this film.
The music?
Steve Farraco has fucking stolen Mike Post's groove. He's burgled that shit. Guilty. Guilty of stealing Bone Down guitar.
Yeah, the music is real bad throughout the entire thing. And just...
the music shits the bed too, because by the end of it, it seems like all of a sudden you started out with this thing that you're like, did Mike Post do the music for this? And at the end, you're like, this is like the music from a 90s computer game, like a PC game.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's real bad. All right. So here's the scenario. Cuba Gooding Jr. is a guy named somebody Russell. I can never catch his first name.
Lawson Russell. He's a lawyer named Lawson. Jesus fucking Christ.
God damn it. Jesus. That's as bad as Rudy and or Rudolph and Dear Reindeer Games. Okay, so he's in prison. The other thing that is can't escape us is that he is the narrator of this film for about the first 10 minutes, and then all narration ceases. You can't do that.
He does some...
he talks throughout the things. He's like, he talks a lot about his dad, like when he's on the train after he busts out, right? He's like, my dad said that when I went off to law school, there were 3 things.
Okay, it's not narration, I guess. That would be then internal that's internal monologue. That's not narration. Like, here's what's going on is how he starts. But then he just shifts to, yeah, boy, my dad sure would be pissed at me right now if he saw what I was doing. Which...
He's like, I'm glad my dad is dead.
Yeah, you can't... hold on. You can't do that as narration. That's not narration because he starts out saying, and this is how it all started. But then he shifts to... So it's past tense when he narrates at the beginning, and then it's present tense when he has something he wants to say. It's not narration. It's internal dialogue. Or monologue.
Ooh, and even more to speak to the consistency, the movie tells us that the current time is when he's in prison at the beginning of here, but then we see events that happen after this point, and he's still talking about as if they are the past tense.
Correct.
It does not have any level of narrative consistency whatsoever.
That is a time paradox, Sam. He has collapsed the universe upon itself by cheating time and space in his dumb narration. Okay. Anyways, so he's a lawyer. That's all we get. And that this all started on a Fat Tuesday. Do people in the streets. Do show us your boobies, and a lady does. But he wasn't there.
This is only set in New Orleans so we can have boobs in the movie,
I think that's
right?
it. I think that's the only reason, is to get some randos titties on tape.
And then later there's going to be a boobie for no reason that gets dressed up with a nickel. I mean, yeah. There doesn't need to be any boobs in this movie, but I guess it's a welcome thing. Oh, hey, there's boobs for 2 seconds. This is slightly less shitty now. Yay.
You could justify it as establishing that it's in New Orleans. Hey, I know you ignorant fucks out there don't have a fucking idea about anything other than tits with New Orleans, so you won't know where it's at unless we show you some tits. Oh, hey, that's New Orleans. No, I understand this movie. That's the only establishment. I don't know. It's fucking dumb.
And also, let's just... I'm going to... How stupid this guy is to begin with is also... So... At one point, he's going to be like, I'm from New Orleans, but I'm going to change careers and do like a fishing gig.
Right.
So I'm going to go to Florida. It's the same body of water, you dickhead. Just go to the fucking body of water right there.
God
Jesus Christ.
It's right up the road. Fucking moron. There's probably better fishing in New Orleans than there is in the Keys, too.
I don't know. There's more party. I don't know that there's any. I mean, maybe it's quieter. It's a lot more, personal drinking by yourself in the Keys than there is in New Orleans. You're going to get bothered too much, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. Anyway, so he's like, so it all started when I grew a conscience, and then I went straight to prison. That's the crime.
Yeah.
There's a devil guy dressed up as a devil. He's one of the revelers, and he comes sneaking in through the back gate and opens up the door to Lawson's house, and he's got a gun. He's gonna plug him, but Lawson's on the phone calling the judge of the case that he's working, the trial. He's got a client that's accused of rape and murder, and he calls the judge.
Yes.
And says, I'm recusing myself, which is all fine because you do have to declare it to the judge when you recuse yourself. But then he calls him boss and says, I'm going to put my resignation on your desk in the morning. Like, they work together.
But they don't.
They do not.
And also, he just made this a mistrial, I think.
Like,
because really, he just needs to file that paperwork in the morning.
Right. I mean, yeah, you do have to. There's a channel. The judge does have to know that you're recusing yourself, and things have to be judge shuffled. The bureaucracy that is judgmentship. But I think, I don't think you call him in the middle of the night and be like, "Hey, you partying hard, judge boss? The judge, you're not my boss."
He's having a Roman orgy party.
He's having a Roman orgy party.
And it's very difficult to take him seriously, yelling his legal mumbo jumbo. Because he's like, Nero the blowjobby is getting mad. And you're like, this is so stupid. What the fuck is this guy doing?
Jackie, you don't have much to say at this point in time. Feel free to chirp in, when you want to talk about Nero sex orgies. Playing the fiddle.
Well, at least they were classing it up with champagne.
Oh, okay. Man. Wine was invented by the Romans for orgies.
Well, some of those people that go to orgies, you're like, well, shit, that's the only person available. I guess that's my guy.
Yep. 3 sheets to the wind. Got wine goggles. Okay, so he's winning this trial. That's part of the problem. And all because to win this, it's Matlocky. He holds up a photo of the dead woman's body. She's got a sock stuffed or a panty stuffed in her, and that's how she suffocated. And he's just like, look at this. Look at this to the jury. Do you see what I am showing you? Look what happened to this woman. She's dead from panties in her mouth. Did you look at it? Look at it. And in his internal dialogue narration, he's like, I just beat it over their heads so much that the photo became invisible to them.
Yep. He actually bonked them with it. He's like,
what?
Bonked with a dead lady. Criminal Defense 101. Look at this. Now she's talking like she's a sandwich person. I'm so dead.
Well, I can't take that photo seriously at all. That's their whole case. Yeah. I can't take it seriously.
Well, he should have just used the defense of, ladies and gentlemen, if she would have been a true lap dancer, she would have been wearing edible underwears. Thus, she would not have choked on her own panties.
So she wasn't.
But had a delicious snack while this was occurring.
All lies. She couldn't have been a proper stripper because...
Yeah, she was a spy, actually, because everybody knows that strippers just wear edible panties.
Yeah, it has to be a spy.
Case dismissed.
This man actually did us a favor. He saved America. It's a dumb fucking legal move. Like, real bad. Like, I'm going to put this in the top 3. Sam's favorite Matlock. I'll go ahead and tell you your favorite, or you can tell us your favorite Matlock moment there, Sam.
Oh, it's the one where he's like, This man is not guilty because the real murderer is walking through the door right now. And then everybody turns and nothing happens. And Matlock goes, but you thought he was going to, so my guy's not guilty. And they're like, yep, you're right. And I'm just like, man, people eat this shit up. That's terrible.
And then a few months ago, there was a Saturday Night Live sketch. Jackie and I just watched this where the attorney was terrible. And so he had his client dress up in like a flaming yellow suit and a Devo hat on. And so he sits down, all rise. And then it pans to the courtroom, the audience, I guess. I don't know what they call that. There's a name for it.
Gallery?
The gallery. And everybody's dressed in a flaming yellow suit and a Devo hat. And he's like, all right, witness, point to the murderer. That guy right there is wearing a yellow suit and a Devo hat. Well, who could it possibly? There's so many. You can't tell who the murderer.
Yeah.
Like, okay, that's as bad as this shit is. Look at the dead lady. Couldn't have been my guy, could it? Because you're sick of seeing this. What the fuck? No. That's horse shit. So that's how he's winning.
It's more dubious than the Chewbacca defense.
It's real bad. It's pretty bad. I mean, actually,
he's like, for all we know, she could have died on a photo shoot for Calvin Klein underwear, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
And then they just left her there. I mean, look at the angle of this photo.
I can't.
I mean, obviously somebody's on the ladder taking this photo.
I don't even see that photo anymore. It's just I've been beaten over the head with it that I don't even know what you're talking about. But clearly that guy couldn't have done it because I'm bored. But then he's like, good job, Eric Stoltz, the client. It's like, you're doing great out there. I really like the way you work. And plus, you're totally going to get me off on that one because I took that lady's panties and I shoved them pretty far down her throat. I don't know why. Usually I'd like to put something else in throats, but this time I felt different. And Cuba Gooding Jr.'s like, vertigo cammed. Oh, damn it.
I believe his direct words were, I told that stupid slut that I was going to walk.
Yeah. They
but
then is the point.
And then he's like, I meant the reporter lady, not the panty lady.
Yeah. I told her that I was going to walk after she was dead. Also another questionable move on my part. I don't know what that was all about. So he confesses to Cuba.
Sort of.
To Lawson. But Lawson knows enough that he did it. And he's like, oh, no.
He knows he did it to begin with. Why do we...
Right.
Why is he growing a pair all of a sudden?
I don't know. But now he's like, I can't represent this man. I can't do it. So that's why he is recusing himself. The devil guy, he's still in this scene, and he overhears the conversation and is like, okay, I'm not going to shoot him, and leaves.
Yeah. But also Thurman Parks III. I like to give Eric Stoltz the benefit of the doubt most of the time, and man, this guy can't catch a break. But he's not producing any breaks for himself with this character. His accent stinks.
It's in and out, too. I couldn't tell what he was doing.
Yeah.
So the judge is like, no, you can't recuse. I won't allow it. Get back out there. Oh, man, damn it. All right, I'm ready to go. I would like to put on the stand Thurman Parks III as my witness. Okay, so what were you up to that night? Oh, we went out to get drinks with a hooker. Okay, whatever. Pretty hard to get drinks while you're shoving panties down her throat, you scum-sucking son of a bitch. Guilty fuck. You should hang. Yeah. You should go in the chair, and then they should hang a rope around your neck while they drop you in the chair that's electrocuting you while you're getting lethal injected and shot by our firing squad, you guilty fucker!
Get
this man out of here!
It's worse than that, though, because he tries to, catch him with a fucking off-guard question.
Right, like a whodunit.
That wasn't part of the preparation, the defense's preparation. He's like, what'd you talk about? I know I didn't put that in our preparation. What'd you talk about? And he's like, football. Quite as matter of factly. And then he's just like, he has nowhere to go. other than you did it, because they were just talking about football. Probably Bobby Abar. That guy stunk.
Okay.
How the Saints can do this year? Not good. They got Bobby Abar.
So the judge gives him contempt, throws him out. A mistrial is declared. Lawson's fired from his firm. Then he's disbarred, and he can't do law ever again in his life for this. And so he's like, well, I'm going to go write a book in the Florida Keys.
Yeah, he's like, I've been disbarred, so rather than just going to corporate law where you don't have to be on the bar and manipulating the system and making zillions more than I would have, my dad had a fishing boat, so I'm going to go check that shit out.
I think you can also, you can teach, can't you?
That one's going to be harder if you had a meltdown in the courtroom.
Yeah. Well, I see, again, it's the Larry David defense, you know, like,
sure.
I did the right thing. Yeah, I know it's against the law, but I did the right thing. You're not going to hire me because I did the right thing? What are you, against doing the right thing? You know, I think you could. I think somebody would hire you. You know, a university. I'm not saying that you're wrong. He would make zillions cheating the law, working for corporate. But if he still wanted to be a good guy, I think there's universities that would pick him up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, if he's not allowed to practice law, I don't know how that works, because when they require him to have, but a lot of times when you teach, you have to have the credentials to teach.
He's got a law degree.
It's part of your accreditation, but he wouldn't have a law degree because they disbarred him.
No, the bar's different than the JD.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I guess he could be a professor somewhere. Maybe at a local community college.
Yeah. I mean, hey.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is that JD is a terminal degree, and at worst, he could teach math at a community college. Just because he has a JD. It's a terminal degree.
I think he could do better. You know, he's a hotshot lawyer. He's a top firm guy, you know? Okay, anyways, he decides to go write a novel and fish. That's fine, too. If it was me, I would go write a novel and fish.
He's not doing either one of those things. He's just drinking all day long.
Sam, if I was saying I can't work anymore, I got to go fish and retire, I'd do the same thing. I drink all day.
Sure.
Come on, man. This guy's doing it right. I can't be like, oh, you should go make millions and teach, because I wouldn't. I'd go down to the Florida Keys, pretend I'm fishing, pretend I'm writing, and just drink all day. It's the path.
Well, and it kind of seems like he comes from money, right? I mean, he's got that really nice place in New Orleans, and then his parents have a cottage or a house in the Keys, right? So, I mean, it's not like this guy doesn't have the money to take some time off.
He's taking some time off.
You know,
he took 13 months.
He sells his shitty car. He doesn't even need any transportation, right? Because he probably just walks down to the beer store.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
He steals one of their shopping carts. He just keeps it in his backyard, and then he pushes it back there when he runs out of alcohol and fills it back up and then pushes it back to his house.
So while he's passed out in his fishing boat, this dude, Mr. Marlowe, walks up. And he's like, yes, I was the one that chartered you to take me fishing. And Lawson's like, wait, I charter people to fish? I didn't know I did that, because I never prefaced any of that shit before this scene. But okay, get in the boat, old man.
Yeah. Also, your makeup is dripping, sir.
Yeah. What? It looks like you look like that wax figure from that Liberty Mutual commercial, buddy. You all right?
I think this might work out just in the movie world, because he's so drunk he can't see straight anyway.
Man, you're kind of a weird-looking guy.
And if you're this guy with the prosthetics on, you're like, oh my God, we're going to die. I'm going to fall out of this boat, and this dick is just going to run me over because he's too drunk. Like, he doesn't even realize that I have the worst wig in the universe on.
It's pretty bad. It is pretty bad, this makeup.
I would not have been surprised if that wig was actually attached to the hat. You know, just part of the hat wig.
Right? Yeah, I don't know if this guy would make it as the Saint. You know?
No.
I think when you're spying against the Russians, I think you're going to get caught. Marlowe and probably executed in a gulag. This is not a good disguise.
But Cuba Gooding Jr. is super drunk, so.
Right.
And also, like, you get out into the open water, and he's just like, there's not much to hit out here, so we're good.
All right, so they bro out. They go to a bar. Marlowe starts talking shit about lawyers, and I guess that, Lawson is like, yeah, those are pretty good points you're making, pal. Lawyers do suck. What's black and white and looks good on a Doberman? Or I don't know what my dad's joke was. Has something to do with a Doberman on a lawyer's throat, ripping it out. That's my dad's joke. Yeah.
What's black and white and looks good on a Doberman? A wolf's tooth sweater.
That's not funny, but it's true.
That Doberman looks great.
So the next day, this Marlowe guy stops by Lawson's place, and he's like, hey, I know you're trying to become a novelist, but I also wrote a book, and, maybe you'd like to not work on yours and instead work on mine, which is, as a budding novelist myself, that's actually very common. You don't want to work. You don't want to work on somebody else's book, but you want them to work on yours. Hey, you want to do a trade? I'll read yours. You can read mine, and we'll critique each other. You're only page 6. Okay, I'll still read it, and then you can read my 450-page manuscript.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need that done by this week too, if you could. I'm gonna finish yours in about 3 minutes. So he's like, okay, cool, yeah, sure, I'll read your manuscript. And he reads it. It's about 5 lawyers who were murdered because they took on cases of scumbags. They knew the guys were guilty. It's the reverse from earlier. They knew the guys were guilty and they represented them anyways. And then all these murders took place meticulously and were never caught by this one vigilante that was taking out scumbag lawyers.
Well, the thing is are they scumbags or were they just doing their jobs? I mean, as a lawyer, I'm just posing this as part of our investigation.
That's not our determination because that's the narrative of his manuscript. That guy, it's a manuscript. He can say whatever he wants to in his manuscript, if whether the guy was whatever the vigilante's justifications were or not, as far as what Lawson is buying into at this point. It's just a manuscript, Jackie. I wrote a book about Nazis taking over and the Hearst Castle, and you pick up guns and you shoot them. Am I going to do that? No, but my character is. You're looking like confused.
I'm watching Sam's cat.
Okay. Cool. So the book is great. Lawson loves it. It's top tier. Suck a dick, John Grisham. This is the jam. And he's going to go tell Marlowe, I think it's great. It's great. But he goes over to Marlowe's place. Marlowe is dead from a heart attack. Oh, bummer. There's a cop outside his place. No ambulance. No other cops. Just this one cop. He's like, oh, yeah, that guy died.
A guy with a light pretending to talk on the radio.
Yeah. He does have a badge on. So there's at least that. And he's like, oh, yeah, he died from a heart attack. Oh, that sucks, man. I just saw him. Oh, yeah, it happens. He was getting pretty old. So anyways, get out of here. And Lawson's like, well, wait, what about his stuff? Like, say he maybe was working on a script for a Jerry Bruckheimer movie. If that was in his house, what would happen to it? Oh, it'd go to the state. And they'd like either burn it or sell it to Jerry Bruckheimer, and then tax him on top of it. But it's not like you could go in there and like get that stuff and then do something with it on your own person if you were interested in, stealing his stuff. You couldn't do that. I wouldn't let you do that. Oh, okay. Well,
Did
then
he have any prescriptions?
Oh, yeah, right. He's got any Xanax.
Do you have any Viagra in there?
Xanax and
some for
Viagra.
P. Diddy's party.
Oh, not good. Not good, Jackie. That's bad. That's icky. Okay, well, I'll just see myself out then. Hey, what's that thing you got in your hand? Oh, don't worry about that. It's my lunch, shaped like a book. Yeah, it's a pizza. It's a square pizza.
Nobody reads down here, so I disguise my lunch as books. That way no one steals it.
Right.
It's Florida. Most people can't read here. Their lunch is safe.
Hey, well, good day, officer. I'll just be going. He runs back to his place. He gets on the computer. He punches in the title of the book. It's A Murder of Crows by Lawson Russell. He's stealing the book.
Yep.
He wasted no time. For a man who found his conscience, he wasted no time putting his name and burning that original. Like, it didn't even, he's like, well, the guy's dead, fuck it, my book now. I mean, it was almost like a finders keepers type of thing.
What would you guys do in this situation?
Well, possession being 9/10 of the law, I think you're still legally entitled to any of the profits. He has no next of kin. You have it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to say it's yours. You're still going to get all that money if it's that good.
Right? That's true.
Yeah, I would.
He's a lawyer and he doesn't know this.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm kind of with Sam. I would try to publish the book, but I would make it known. Like, I would write a foreword in it that explained how I came about the book. And I'm still going to be, the editor. I can make myself the editor of this book, right? Or a co-writer.
Right. Or adapted by.
Yeah.
Yes.
And still, make my name as an author, but I don't have to take full credit for this book. And if he would have just done that, this movie never happened.
Right.
Could you imagine if the bad guy was like, oh my God, he just did that the right way and is still getting all that cash. Oh, geez. Oh, geez.
Oh, this
man, I really wish my master plan didn't involve writing a great novel.
Writing fucking John Steinbeck. Take it.
I mean, if you're this guy and your book goes platinum, right? And then
platinum.
you're still slinging, community college theater.
All right, you're skipping. All right, but we get it. Yeah, I mean, we'll circle back to his bad plan. Okay, so he writes this book. It's an instant success. I like this. He sends it directly. He's nobody, right? He's a disbarred lawyer. He's never written shit before. Yeah. He sends it directly to 5 publishers, and they read it. That doesn't happen.
No. Well, we don't know about the other 4 publishers. We just know, and that, he goes with the first one.
Well,
I guess so it was a killer party.
You don't do that at all. They won't read you. If you're Joe Schmo, I don't care what publishing house, they're not going to read it. You have to have an agent, period. Yeah. Have to. And when you're an author, 90% of agents aren't going to read your manuscript. They are only going to read your query, which is a one-page like a cover letter. That's it. That's what 90% of them are going to read. It's probably more like 95% of books just go in trashes of agents' desks. They don't even make it past the cover letter. So, no, you don't go straight to a publisher. And they're like, oh, my God. By the time he gets there, they've got a proof of his book cover blown up as like a trade show circuit sign. And they're like, you're our guy. Here's your Ferrari.
Yeah, it's...
Whoa.
This is a better celebration than the marketing of the TV dinners in Biggles Adventure in Time.
We'd like you to meet the president today if you could. Oh,
they're clapping. He walks in and they're clapping. And then he, of course, is like, wow, because he's a rube. So he just goes with the first offer. He doesn't even get to see any of these other parties.
He doesn't even go with the other offers.
And lady that runs the place is like, I'm also going to boner you. Woo! And he's like, cha-ching. This is my kind of publishing house.
It's terrible.
That's exactly what happens. That's why I'm really glad that, Justin, you haven't had any success with your book.
Right,
because those publishing tramps will just throw themselves at you.
Worked her way up the corporate ladder, having to do things twice as hard as any of the old boys club that's notorious in publishing. The Hefts, the Larry Flint. I don't know why I'm just going to nudie magazines, but
sure.
It's an old boys club at Random House. And she had to work twice as hard and prove herself, especially because she's got nice legs. And if this guy, she's just going to fuck. Like, you're my meal
she does
ticket?
later.
No, you're the publisher.
Say that she's Jen too, like her dad started all of it.
Still, you're the publisher. You're fucking this guy.
Bone every decent novel writer that walks through the front door, and she's like, yes, I do. Like, okay, fair enough. Whatever.
Hey, Book of the Month Club, here's my vagina. I mean, what? J.K. Rowling comes in. Never mind. Okay. And so he's on the cover of all of the magazines now. All of them. And
yes,
the ones that strike me the most important are that society is now starting to question if we even need lawyers because of this book.
Yes. Now, there's also another piece of this that doesn't fit, because you see all of these magazine covers and society is changing. And then he says it debuted at number 6 on the...
Right.
If it debuted at number 6, nobody gives a fuck about it.
You sold probably...
You're on Time Magazine for number 6?
Copies.
Eat shit.
And, this guy, he said that these lawyers were shitty and they died from it. Should we even have lawyers? Like, let's question the entire legal system, America, right now because of this fucking book that made number 6. Oh, come on. God damn it. It's in the Constitution. So he brings his publisher. So he brings his publisher all over her house. Oh, bangs. He bangs his publisher all over.
Yeah. He does. She's like, I've got 15 bedrooms. And he's like, that's just enough. And then I thought we were just going to get like, okay, they bang or whatever. But no, there's a boob with a nipple ring on it. And he like makes a goofy face like, oh boy, I'm in for it.
Yeah,
and you're like, okay, that was really stupid. Why did we do that? Are we done with this now? You think you are. But then there's some really crude humping in a bathroom that you have to watch for about 4 or 5 seconds that you're like, huh.
What was with the nipple
left
ring?
That in.
Like the camera like gets in on it and he makes that dumb face and the camera makes a dumb face. And are we supposed to be like, whoa, that bitch is crazy? Because, like, was 1999 too early for the nipple rings? Like, whoa, this lady's really got some shit going on. I didn't get it.
Like 2 years after SLC Punk, right?
I don't, sure. What is it? What, nipple rings are pretty mundane.
I mean, maybe they're exciting
society.
for the Grisham fans.
In 1999? I don't know. Okay. She's got a nipple ring. Cool. Good for her. Whoop-de-doo. She's probably going to get some crust under there. And that's the thing I don't like about nipple rings. They get crusty. It's gross. Nobody? Nobody here? You guys are looking at me weird. You're looking at me like Cuba Gooding Jr. They get gross.
Could get caught on any of the weird, goofy shit she has in her old house, too.
Yeah. All right, so he wakes up. Man, there's a lot of noise outside. He opens the door the window, and there's crows outside cawing at him. He's like, they know. The crows know. Is Brandon Stark here? Are you watching me, Bran? Gonna be a king someday. Wait, I am? That's dumb.
Yeah. Wait, Wizard King? No, you can't do. That's just the stupidest thing you can do.
Why would I be the king?
Wizards don't care about anything. They can't be king. No.
Three-eyed raven. What the fuck? Make Sansa do it. God, that show was dumb. It was great. It was great. But fuck that last season. Wow. Bran? Okay. Why did he even go to the fucking tree and like the whole Hodo thing? Why did he do any of that?
No, they painted themselves into a corner and they're like, well, let's just fucking flip a few cards in the air, flip some coins, and call her good.
God damn it.
Nobody expects the Wizard King. Well, there's a reason.
6 seasons of Bran wandering through the forest to become High King. Okay. All right, so at a book signing, his friend stops by. Some other guy stops by, and they make a scene out of it. And, oh, yeah, that guy's got a weird face. It's another makeup face. Oh, I bet you he's going to play out later. His friend says, oh, I didn't expect any of this in your writing. If you're going to write about something, I wasn't this I expected. Okay, well, I see your publisher has got her tongue in your butthole at your book signing. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Outside, he finds Eric Stoltz in the garage, and they spew some shit at each other. But it turns out that Thurman Thomas, what's his name?
Thurman Parks the Third.
Thurman Parks the Third used to bang the publisher or something.
Yeah, she bangs everybody. He probably wrote a couple poems, and she's like, these are good, bang me.
Hey, put your dick in my face.
Like, what poems were they? Oh, the one was about a man from Nantucket.
I finished off the poem for him.
Yeah.
Okay. God damn it. What the fuck?
They also, like, in the amount, if this is a legal colleague of his, the amount of writing that you have to do as a lawyer, longtime colleague, she walks up to him and what she says is, you didn't fucking write this.
No shit.
Because I know what your writing is like, and this is not you. You didn't fucking write this.
You didn't write this. And even then,
and then she turns to page 12 and she's like, look at this word. Do you even know what this word means? Tell me what this word means. And he's like, I don't know.
Look,
and it's all over.
Look, I hired a ghostwriter, okay? You got me. I'm still a zillionaire because that's how ghostwriting works. So, bye.
Bye.
Fine, fair enough. I gotta do this because it's so fucking weird. As Eric Stoltz is leaving, he says, hey man, don't forget, whip it.
Whip it good.
What the fuck was that?
He's talking about spanking her, I guess. I don't know.
Whip it?
Yeah.
But spank her. You're going to want to spank her butt because she's a naughty girl. That's what she likes. That's what you say. Whip it? Whip what, dude? Whip it good? Because that's all I can think is whip it good.
Whip it good. It doesn't make any sense.
You're right. I do have a little problem. I got to whip it. Thanks for the advice, buddy. I like you're looking out.
But then Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character is like, oh my God, you're just like a whore all the time. I hate you. I thought you were only being a whore for me. I'm sad, I guess.
The person who's in charge of my financial destiny.
Yeah.
Who I also fuck. I mean, poopy.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
Somebody else. He's an idiot. Okay, now we get Berenger. How far? We're 54 minutes into this podcast and we just got Berenger. Wow.
Felt that way about the movie too. Like he shows up way too late.
Way too late.
But but you know, like I kind of expected him to be older in this film, and he looked really good. Like kind of prime Berenger.
This is prime Berenger.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
I liked his hair. His hair was beautiful and
late.
This is the back
prime.
end of prime Berenger.
Yeah. Probably early 90s is prime Berenger.
Yeah.
So he's in there. He's not far off. He's not like us. We're way past our primes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
He gets a package. Inside of it is the signed book from the book signing. The makeup guy grabbed this and got his signature, and he sent it. And so he reads it, and he's like, that's, wait a minute. I got a hunch. So he goes down to the computer lab, the cop computer lab, and there is the dead man on campus guy. Nice to see you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I recognized him, but I don't remember who he is.
Yeah.
Lachlan Monroe, dead man on campus.
Lachlan Monroe. I can't make
either way.
I can't make this.
It's a fun scene because Behringer's like, "You work these machines," and he's like, "I guess so." It's like, just type in lawyers, and he does, and nothing happens. He's like, "That's not how computers work."
How about dead
But we
lawyers?
are to assume that they get their shit together and figure it out later.
They figure what out? He got the deets.
Search things on his computer because he's got a bad start here.
Yeah. Well, eventually, they get the result. Oh my God, these deaths are all in this book. Wow. So they arrest they arrest Lawson. His book was all true. It's only the details that the murderer would have are in the book.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
1998. Mm-hmm. He goes into the press room or in the computer room, and he's like, what does this it's not going to tell him anything. Those computers are not going to. He's going to find this, he's going to be looking at like cards with dates and microfiche. And it's going to happen a lot faster. He's going to spend like 2 hours, but he's going to get all the articles he needs.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
There's nothing on these computers.
No. Right. So he's like, you can either tell us who told you all the details of this to put in your book, or better yet, I think you're the murderer. Okay, well, that's not good news for me. I'm going to need my lawyer. Good luck getting one, lawyer murderer boy. Lawyer murderer boy, that's what I'm calling you. It's I'll work on it while I'm outside while you're talking to a lawyer. So he calls his lawyer friend from the book signing, and she's like, okay, I'll get you out. And then he tells her the truth, and she's like, that's a load of horse shit. I don't want to be your friend or your lawyer. I quit. Yeah. That's the dumbest fucking story I've ever heard. Wait, so you actually believe that I murdered 5? What would be my motive? You got disbarred by a judge, by judges.
And wouldn't the first step be like establish an alibi?
That's the thing. These murders,
where were you?
Go back before he was disbarred. He was probably somewhere else every single fucking time.
So yeah, I've got an alibi. I've got plane tickets to show where I was at during those times. I was in fucking court. I was in court during those times. It wasn't me.
Also, this is my friend who I've worked with as a lawyer for 15 years, and she's like, yeah, he didn't write that. I've seen his writing before, and it's not that.
You're not supposed to tell anybody. I won't be famous and rich anymore. Oh, yeah? Well, what are you going to do when you need to write the second one? Because you're already struggling with that, aren't you? Damn it. Good point. The publisher already paid me in advance. I owe him something. And it's going to be bad.
Yep.
I mean, like fucking Turbulence too bad.
The much anticipated sequel to A Murder of Crows, A Flock of Seagulls with Knives.
Pigeons.
My suggestion would be for you to. And you ran. Damn it. I had it. Damn it. I couldn't get there. Couldn't get it. Nope. Flock of Seagulls rules, dude. I don't give a shit. Kiss my ass. Those guys cool. So she quits. She's like, I can't represent you. I think you're a murderer of lawyers, and I'm a lawyer and also an idiot. So he goes home, and the cops are tearing his place apart. They got a warrant, and him and Dubois, Tom Berenger, They have what I like to call an ashtray standoff. They're both tough guying each other over his ashtray.
This is ridiculous. They're like, I'm going to use the ashtray. You just both use the fucking ashtray.
No, I'm tougher than you. It's
like
ashtray.
Everyone before this one moment has been able to lean over an ash without pulling the ashtray 3 inches closer to them than the other person. Because that's what
it's a power.
It's a battle
move,
of
Sam.
3 inches of ashtray possession.
It's a power move. It's the Donald Trump over forceful handshake, Sam. That's how you get your people to bend to your will. Is you pull the ash. No, you can't use the ashtray. I'm afraid I can. Damn it. Well, I'm going to have to use the ashtray in this way. Ooh, that's tough stuff right there. But what about if I pull the ashtray over here?
It's about the 3 inches, gentlemen, and everybody knows that every inch counts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Come on, that was a good one.
I wanted them to really start arguing to the point where the chessboard came in to play.
Yeah, right.
Because it's supposed to be like they're playing chess, but they're not. They're just like, you're stupid, I hate you more. Or they'd be like, you play chess? No, I don't. But if I did, I'd whip your ass. Oh, yeah? What's that piece do? I don't know.
I think it jumps over this one. Checkers. Got you.
I know what this one does. It's about to be up your ass.
Okay. So there's evidence in the kitchen, photos of dead lawyers. That's not mine. Okay. And he's like, look over there. And he fucking makes a break for it, and he gets away.
He gets away. This is the worst. And then Behringer's like, God damn it.
Ooh.
He's like, got away. And it's like, how did you let that guy get away?
He just runs into his backyard. It's like overgrown. He's like, I can't go through there.
He jumps a fence.
Yeah.
There's cops everywhere.
They're everywhere.
He didn't get away.
But they're not fence jumpers. They are not fence jumpers. If you looked at most of them,
Oh, man.
not fence jumpers.
There's cars sitting on the other side of the fence. His place is surrounded. It doesn't make any sense how he gets away. So then, oh yeah, in this scene, they have a news conference. That guy that wrote that best-selling novel, well, he's wanted for murder for murdering those people in that novel. So don't buy that book anymore, and also tell us if you see him. And Eric Stoltz sees it on TV, and he's like, "Oh my god, that's hilarious!" And then he has some bimbo there who's wearing a train conductor's jacket, like a children's train conductor jacket, and staring at a model train set, but she's not wearing anything under the. This is a wild party.
He's weird.
This is a wild party.
This is a wild.
I think there's a transgendered person in there as well.
There's a larger woman making drinks, and then he's got. I don't think she's dressed as a train conductor. I think she's dressed as like the ringleader of a circus.
Okay, yeah.
Without a shirt on underneath her big top jacket. And he's watching TV while she's playing trains.
And he's drinking orange juice. It could be a screwdriver, but it's
could
just
be
an orange drink. This guy knows how to
And it looks
party.
like he's smoking. It looks like he's smoking hash too.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now we are. Can we just? This is wild shit. I think this should be the movie.
Yeah, the Thurman Parks III movie would be interesting. See what kind of scrapes this guy goes through.
All right, so Russell, he hops a train, takes it to Key West, and he's going to look into Marlowe, where this guy is. So he goes down to the records office. He's like, hey, a dead guy come through here recently? And they're like, no, there's been no record of any guy named Marlowe who died here ever. Oh, man, that's weird. Well, because I ran a detective, I can't remember what the detective's name was. Detective literary figure. You got any guys by that name? No, we don't. Oh, that's bizarre. So he puts it all together at the library that Marlowe is a Faustian figure, and the detective's name was what? Because
the clerk is like, well, that's from Faust, you stupid asshole. And he's
you
like,
dumb fuck.
You read? She's like, yeah, I might be the only person in Florida who does. And he's like, my lunch is not safe from you. Why would I steal your lunch?
I better get out of here. So he gets a gun. Okay. And he breaks into the clerk's office and he steals a subpoena form.
Jesus.
There's one thing I'm going to need in here. Subpoena form. So then he goes to the place where this Marlowe guy was staying at, and he pretends he's some criminal investigator, and he's got a subpoena for phone records to the landlady, and the landlady's like, he never used the phone here, he used the payphone. Damn it. So he goes to the local phone company.
He honeypots the phone company.
He honeypots the phone company.
Before he honeypots the phone company, he pulls this elaborate shenanigan scheme to ask the lady things that she would have just told him had he not done any of that.
Right. But also, this guy is the #1 book author in America. And he's just walking. Now he's wanted for murder. And he's just walking around.
Escaped police captivity and gone to his other house, and they haven't checked there yet.
Imagine if Stephen King was pursued by the FBI for espionage. You think he wouldn't be on the news? It would be the #1 fucking OJ. Yeah. Fucking OJ. We shut a country down because of OJ. This guy's totally OJing, and nobody knows who he is.
Nope. Not even the well-read records clerk.
Right. God damn it. Okay. So he honeypots the phone company because he's got a nice can, I guess. So they give him the phone records. Now he's being chased by the cops. Shit. And he ditches them on top of a Miller light truck.
He is the most elusive lawyer ever. Like Harrison Ford is jealous of his moves in The Fugitive.
Yeah, right? Okay. So he calls, the calls he thinks lead to Thurman Parks because they're also in the same neighborhood as where Thurman Parks lives. So he breaks into his house and he checks his black book and he's like, oh, there's no connection to any guy named Marlowe. That's weird. But then Thurman Parks is now banging the publisher again. You got to have a whole scene about that.
Yeah. Why, I'm not sure. He's got his train ladies. I would just stick with that.
I would stick with that. They seem fun. This lady seems like she's not fun.
No, she's all stuffy.
Stuffy? It's funny you should use that word, Sam. Does she make it? Or is she dead?
I don't know.
He killed that.
She makes it.
They're both too drunk. He doesn't seem like he kills. He only kills hookers, or at least one. Like the train lady, I'm worried about. She might not make it.
Okay, because she's a hooker.
This one here is going to be too high profile. Plus, they're so drunk they just fall down and can't get up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So she makes it, but train gal, that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Too bad for her. Okay. So there's nothing here. So he calls his gal pal again, and now she will help him. Oh, before when you were not wanted by the law and you actually had a case that we could stand on, I walked out on you.
Sure.
But now that you're a hunted fugitive who's crossed state lines and the FBI is on your case, yeah, I could help you out a little bit. What the fuck, lady?
Yep. And what does she give him?
She tracks down the phone number to the cleaning lady. Cleaning lady. Okay. And so he starts stalking the maid, and the maid leads him to the professor's house because that's where she works. And so he's like, wait a minute, that professor looks familiar. So he follows the professor, and the professor is now revealed to be a theater arts professor. Oh, this guy's an actor. Huh.
Okay. Maybe at like Tulane? Is that in New Orleans? Tulane?
What's the other one? No, that one's in Baton Rouge. I think Tulane's in New Orleans.
Yeah, I think Tulane's in New Orleans.
So he goes back to the house. He breaks in, and he finds Marlowe's pocket watch, and then this guy's master of disguise room, where all the evidence of him being a master of disguise are laid out in full display.
Did the pocket watch come into play earlier and I just missed it?
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, when they were sitting at the bar after they go fishing, he takes out the pocket watch and he plays the music.
Yeah, I missed that completely. So you and I are on the same page, Sam.
Okay. And in this first scene when he does that, he doesn't go, a watch that plays music. That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, chucks it. That's not a clue. So the maid comes home, and he's like, whoa, I got to sneak out of here. And then the cops come, and she's like, yeah, it was that guy from the news that nobody's paying attention to. This is the 90s. We've got that crime show, America's Most Wanted, and the other one. What was the other one? It had a little triangle logo.
Unsolved Mysteries.
No. This was like hot crime or something like that.
Hot crime.
Hard Target. It wasn't hard. Oh God, damn it! Somebody out there is yelling at me. I know, but it's a stretch. It's a deep grab into history if you can remember what that show was called. Oh man!
Turns out the perpetrator wasn't wearing any pants.
Yeah, it was
Hot
like
crime.
that. That's the show. It really was. Hot crime. So they ask, Berenger's asking the professor some questions. He's like, sure you never met this guy? This guy right here? Sure you never met him, huh? Okay, all right. It's pretty weird that he was in your house snooping around because there's literally no connection to you that we've come across to any sort of crime. And that guy did say he didn't do it, so it seems odd that he would be in your house. I don't know, maybe he was looking for cookies or something. He's hungry. He's a fugitive. He's on the run, cookie goblin criminal caper. Happens,
yeah,
right?
His excuse was maybe he was just squatting here for a little bit.
Yeah, shit. You had to take I got a nice bathroom. I'm, professor. I make good money. Got a nice bathroom upstairs. He's pooping and taking a nap. I don't know him. Huh. Okay. Suspicious, said Tom Berenger. So Russell, he goes to the library, the law library, and he looks up the first dead lawyer. And the first dead lawyer represented a banker who I think ran over a mom and a daughter with his big rig. Am I confused?
Yeah, so the first one's manslaughter.
Right.
But the guy walks and he kills them anyway. And then I guess maybe there's some really bad stuff that he kills other guys for. But if he starts off popping a lawyer for winning a manslaughter case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he does it because that lawyer got the guy who killed his family.
Okay, you're jumping ahead. God damn it. That's pretty bloody and gruesome. I wonder if that's tied to anything. So he's chased out of the library by a security guard, which is stupid.
And just a freelancer. There's some kid that's like, hey, I recognize that guy.
Intern. So he's like, okay, well, I think I need to go back to the professor's house with a gun and confront him. But the professor's got a gun too. Shit.
Yes.
Damn it, now you've got my gun. Because you pointed your gun at me while I was pointing my gun at you. Usually in a Mexican standoff, one of us doesn't just fall. Okay, you got me. Here's my gun.
Yep, here you go.
Here you go. Oh, okay, you figured it all out, Jackie. I'm the dad of the dead mom and daughter who got ran over by a banker driving a semi-truck. And so I didn't kill the banker. I killed his lawyer.
Because the banker seemed pretty busted up about it, but the lawyer was like grinning. He was happy that he did his job. So I killed that son of a bitch.
Killed that lawyer. Okay. And I'm going to kill you too. But then Dubois comes in. He's like, I got it all on tape. Did you really record? No, I'm not supposed to fucking. Yeah, I got it all on tape. You're going up the river. Did you really bring it? No, I didn't bring it fucking to. I'm the only witness here, so if this guy kills me, just be cool. Oh, God damn it, he shot me.
Yeah. So they have some fucking shitty banter, and then Arthur Corvus is the guy's name, the theater teacher, I guess. Now we're like, Corvus is the guy. Right. He shoots Tom Berenger, who gives an eat shit Ben Kingsley.
Yeah.
And then right after he gets shot a second time, Cuba Gooding Jr. turns to him and goes, he has my gun. Oh, oops. That would have been useful information a minute ago, wouldn't it have? Because he's like, give me that gun. And he takes Corvus's one gun.
Right.
And then Cuba Gooding Jr. says nothing about the other gun.
Nope, he does not.
Very unhelpful.
Also, wasn't Tom Berenger just like right there watching this all shake down so he could get like, oh, the guy confessed. He's got the other gun, dum-dum.
He maybe doesn't know that he has the other gun, but either way, Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, oops. Whoopsie.
And why was that gun even loaded? Why was Cuba Gooding Jr. or Lawson, why was his gun even loaded? What was he going to do?
He's going to shoot some people.
Okay.
Why does he have a fucking Beretta in the beginning to begin with?
Why does he have a fucking loaded gun? He's trying to clear his name. It's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Don't take a loaded gun.
It's like the theater guy is the theater man, the vigilante of the night.
Uh-huh.
He's got like a 38 special or something. It's a very believable revolver that he would have for a theater teacher.
Who's a vigilante of the night.
Even a vigilante, I mean, he might need the Beretta. I don't know with the people he's shooting, but why would Cuba Gooding Jr. have a high capacity service weapon? It doesn't make any sense.
What's the song from Phantom of the Opera? Anybody? Jackie, you like theater.
Which one?
The Phantom of the Opera.
It's the
Phantom of the Opera. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't think that's how it goes.
It's pretty close. I'm pretty sure that she almost had it perfect. So
no, it's like Memories, but not Memories from Cats. It's
that's
one of
from
those
Cats.
I know, but it's like Memories, jackass. I don't know. He's the Phantom of the Opera, right? Okay. The 38 special is believable on him. So Berenger's dead, and Cuba Gooding Jr. wrestles with the theater professor, wrestles the gun away, and the guy's like, oh, no, you got both of the guns now. The cops are coming, though. And you know what? Since you have both of the guns on you, you got fingerprints all over both of the guns, you dumb son of a bitch. Cuba Gooding Jr. pulls the trigger.
He shoots him.
I think he shoots him.
He shoots him.
Yeah, he's dead.
There is no reference after the gun goes off to the theater professor at all. At all. His condition.
No.
Did you guys know that only 35% of gunshot wounds are fatal in America? That's the statistic. And actually, only 85% of headshots in America are fatal.
That's incredible.
Yeah, that is incredible. So, like, just because the gun goes off doesn't mean it. This guy's probably fine. The cops are on their way. We talk about it all the time. You get shot in the gut. You got like 4 hours bleed out time. You're going to get to the hospital. They pull it out. You're going to have a bad time. It's going to be a bad day, but you're like, you're going to be the star witness against this guy. You're not just automatically dead. But
yeah,
I don't know if this guy's dead or alive. The movie doesn't tell us. Because the next thing, Cuba's at the beginning of the movie, he's in prison, and then he goes to trial, and the fucking jury finds him not guilty. Now, this is how a jury, when they come out, it works. Or the judge says, do you have a verdict? And the foreman of the jury says, yes, Your Honor, we've reached a verdict. Is it unanimous? Yes, it is. Okay, let me read it. Go over and they read it. The judge reads it. Okay, turns the little envelope via the bailiff. Go ahead and read the verdict. And every single fucking count has to be listed. On count number 1 of murdering a manslaughter defending lawyer, we find the defendant not guilty.
Not guilty.
Are you going to do anything? No, we're not even going to read any of the counts. We're just going to say, that man is not guilty. Of which crime? Of which fucking shooting the professor? Or
shooting the professor is all he's up for right now.
Where are you getting that information from? Because
I'm guessing. It's wild guesses.
Only person who thinks that the professor had anything to do with this crime in America is Tom Berenger, and he's got a hole in his head.
Yep.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is still wanted for the murders in his book. He's a fugitive of the law for them. And they're like, not guilty. Okay, what about the professor he shot in the fucking face who may or may not be dead? Not guilty. No, he really did that. Like that one he did.
I mean, has he worked it into a situation where he gets to keep the book proceeds too?
He says that he is now, he gets all the royalties from the book.
Yeah.
So he's rich and free.
But then it breaks the whole point of itself where it's like, I don't know. This is just a shitty. It doesn't. This is a crap ending.
It's insanely bad. It is so insanely bad because he is guilty. He is guilty. We know as the audience, but you know.
But the whole movie just talks about how the lawyers and justice and all of this, and at the end it's like, oh, by the way, fuck all that. Not guilty.
Not guilty at all of what amount of crime. That's what. So we now have two hats to put on. We've got
Sure.
2 crimes in this. Actually, 6 crimes, but we'll separate them into 2. Let's pretend that he is on trial for the thing he should be on trial for, which would be 6 murders.
6 murders.
6, because the 5 lawyers and then this professor for some arbitrary reason. That's what he's accused
and possibly of. 7 because of Tom Berenger in the bullet
7
match.
Tom Berenger, right? Good call. 7 murders. Killed the cop that was pursuing him, and a professor where we think you were squatting. That was a weird one, but either way, we're charging him with 7 murders. What's your defense? And he tells the truth, and they're like, that doesn't make a lick of... Why'd you kill the professor if he shot Tom Berenger? Why did you kill that guy? We were about to come in. You could, like, held the gun on him, and, like, he would have gone to jail. Why'd you shoot him? That's insane. No, you're guilty. Fucking guilty. There's no way he's not going to get a guilty, right?
No, apparently you just get a good enough lawyer.
He got Johnny Cochran. The movie says he got Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
But I don't buy it. He's fucking guilty.
He's guilty of something.
No, we know he's guilty of only one thing, but the jury doesn't watch the movie that we just watched. They have this evidence. He's got fucking photos of dead lawyers in his kitchen.
It seems like one of them's going to stick.
It seems like he's got gun powder on his fucking hand. Fingerprints on the gun that killed a cop. He's done. He's done.
Yeah.
The cop that was pursuing him, not just some... I mean, he is fucking done. Now, say they're like, oh, well, Tom Berenger had a note on him that described all this shit that he did and that you're actually innocent of being the lawyer killer. Now you're on trial for murdering that professor who may or may not have been murdered, but you shot at him, so you're on trial for that at least. What's your plea? Not guilty? Are you sure you want to plead not guilty on this one? Because you got gunpowder on your hand.
Yeah. So let's say he pulls his self-defense. He's like, okay, so here's what we tussled. I got the gun from him.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, well, this is all going to fall on you. And I'm like, yeah, but you deserve justice. And I shot him. And they're like, yeah, that's murder.
That's fucking murder, dude.
It's not premeditated. It's murder 1 or 3 or whatever it is, but it's murder.
Yeah.
3rd degree murder. Whatever. You're going to jail.
You're going to fucking jail. You have powder burns on your fucking hand. So did that other guy. We should have checked for that.
Yeah, the police work is not great in this, considering that they were going to bring him to trial for 5 murders without questioning alibis,
murder weapon,
putting a timeline together, murder weapons, right? And I just don't think... I think the police walked into the scene and he placed the guns by either body and was like, they shot each other.
Hey, you know, I think...
And they're like...
This is New Orleans.
Yeah, that seems right.
This is New Orleans in the late 90s, so you know who I think did it? He's the black guy.
No.
I'm just saying. That's the
but
type
he's
of
a black
logic
guy.
Yeah, he's guilty. Oh, wait, he's not guilty. I don't... It sucks. It's bad.
So
criming by everybody.
His defense is he just pipes down because they're like, okay, you can't be guilty. This is how it works. This is how they sort of do their end of the OJ handling of the case and just botch job the shit out of everything for the police. Is that they can't really figure out what to charge him with. It's like, well, he can't have been the guy that killed all the lawyers and the guy that killed Officer Jabot and Arthur Corvus, theater teacher of Tulane University. But we don't know which one to charge him with, so we're just going to charge him with both. And then his lawyer's like, he didn't do it. Nobody could have done both things. And they're like, yeah, that's true. Do you guys want to pick one? And they're like, no, he did all of it. And they're like, yeah, he didn't. So he's good now.
Right. That's the only way that jury works, is that they charged him all of the crimes at once. And they're like, well, clearly he didn't commit those, so we can't charge him. We can't say guilty. We have to say not guilty.
Your case is that he did all of this and it's impossible for him to have done all of that, so he's not guilty.
That you're right. That is the only way that could work, by the jury saying not guilty, which is just bad copping.
Bad.
Real bad copping. I mean, woohoo! And like the judge has motivation too. Like the judge doesn't like him. So why would the judge be like, yeah, lump all those crimes together in one? Instead, no, you got to break those things apart.
He's just hung over from his last orgy, and he's like, whatever you want to fucking do, hot
God
shot.
Damn it. Oh, my God. Then we've got even the biggest problem of this movie. Why did the murderer come after him? He's like, I only hunt corrupt lawyers. Well, then why is the front end of this fucking movie 30 minutes of him saying, look, I'm not a corrupt lawyer?
Well, he did. He was
because
the devil.
He was.
The devil guy is Corvus.
Then, so why did he frame him for all this shit if he's like, yeah, you're cool?
Well, he wanted to give him, he explains this. He says, I wanted to give you one more chance to prove to me that you were on the up and up. So I gave you what you wanted most, which was a best-selling novel, to see if you would take it and do the right thing. And he's like, and you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
So
you were dead, dude.
All of these. So I pinned all these murders on you, and You took the blame. He's like, this was an Adam and Eve situation, and you ate the apple, buddy.
This has nothing to do with attorneys. You framed me for plagiarism. That has nothing to do with lawyers. Also, it's not plagiarism. You were dead. I gave you a credit at the end.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah,
either.
I wrote the forward. I'm just keeping all the money. Your dumbass put a fake name on it.
You fucking wrote the grapes
that's what
of
happens
wrath
if you
and tried to frame me with it.
Does the smart thing and gets all the cash anyway. And then Arthur Corvus, professor of theater at Tulane University, is like, oh, I guess next time I write the greatest novel that's been written in a decade, I should just sell it for myself.
Yeah, and then like, I don't want the money, but maybe I could use my my newfound power and fame and fortune for like the Innocence Project, or fight the I don't know what the I guess the ACLU would fight corrupt lawyers. I could actually try to make a difference in society instead of just murdering a guy who sending him to prison who took credit for my as part of my plan. This is a bad plan.
It's also a plan that involves being able to, at will, write a novel of the caliber of Jurassic Park.
Yes, exactly.
As the linchpin of the plan. Like,
I just whipped that one
good thing I can just whip out a Jurassic Park whenever I want to fucking frame somebody for these murders that I did.
His window is 13 months that he wrote the America's best-selling novel. He just and not even 13 months. That's for him to come up with this incredibly stupid plan and then write it.
Yeah.
Well, and he had to kill 5 people.
And also, well, no, I think he did that before the 13-month period that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. And also, is that book even going to be really that good? Yeah, then I walked in and I grabbed a rope and I hung him because he was a dick. I mean, what's the plot? What's the plot?
Say that Lawson Russell, the lawyer named after the law, isn't a particularly bright IP attorney. He's a criminal defense attorney instead.
Right.
And he didn't go, well, let me just take a peek at these newspaper articles about the killings and go, yeah, I read those newspaper articles and then wrote this.
That too. Well, the cops did say that there was details in the book that weren't in the public. Yeah.
Okay.
But could have said, yeah, I have a confidential informant, and by the Constitution, I am not legally obligated to tell you who that is. Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Well, the lawyer lady says that, hey, when it comes to nonfiction books or whatever, your informant is not protected by the same laws.
That's fucking horseshit. That is 100% protected under the First Amendment. Complete horseshit. Otherwise, Jackie, we couldn't have whistleblowers. It's yeah, you don't have to give up your informants, your sources. You do not. Freedom of the press. While we have it, yay! But in 1999, God damn it, we had the freedom of the press. It's a good time for news.
Tom Brokaw'd kick you in the nuts, and he was one of the dandy boys in the bunch.
Yeah, Peter Jennings, karate chop your fucking balls. Come after my fucking source. That's your movie. We already said don't. He's guilty. He's fucking guilty. He's going to prison for a long fucking time. Period. End of story. The evidence doesn't stack up against him for me. Or it does stack up against him.
Yeah.
Next week on the show, it's Jackie's pick.
Well, you're not going to let me do my Tom Berenger one-liners?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Crap Carnival Tuesday. That's fucking up my pastrami.
Okay. All right.
Those needle dicks couldn't penny push their way to City Hall if they used hockey sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Holy mother of meat hook marmalade. That looks worse than my Aunt Catherine's meatloaf.
I can't imagine Tom Berenger saying a single one of these.
District attorney? More like district fuckwad.
Okay, that one I can see him saying.
Yeah.
Boys, it's like I always say, slapping asses is like laying crackers on a charcuterie board.
What?
Hey, if you're in such a hurry, you probably ought to call the fire marshal and ask him what to do with all that hot sauce in your butthole.
That's a classic Berenger.
Those candy asses wouldn't know a Form 23A if it bit them in the 72B. Nice job, McGinley. Looks like a donut box full of donkey dicks. I'm not the Easter Bunny. I'm St. Mary's butler, Steve. When you've been doing this as long as I have, you'd be yanking the horn on Preparation H like a 13-year-old boy with a Nancy Sinatra poster. You're starting to sound like my ex-wife. Her butt is almost as big as the dent in my brain.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
That's one you'd want to use.
This is where I started to get a little drunk.
Oh, you were? Okay.
The other ones I wasn't drinking yet. These ones I had been drinking. Guess what? I'm the president of Ass Kickers Anonymous, and we're about to go public.
Yeah, I see the drinking.
I like that one.
See the drinking.
Yeah. This is where I was pretty drunk. Listen, Giga Boy, take that hard-on drive and ram it up your terrataint.
I like the Giga Boys shout out.
Yeah.
Giga Boys for life.
Also, fucksticks, dig around your own nutsack. You'll find it stinkier than two whores pulling raccoons out of a bear's asshole. I didn't even know I wrote that one until this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Those were great.
That it? All right.
That's it. That's
Very
all of
nice.
the Berenger one-liners. And I will only add that this is why we don't do any of the shitty legal movies, because I bet this is about as crappy a legal movie as we can get a hold of. And it still just sucks. It just sucks.
Yeah,
it's not worth
it
doing.
just sucks. It's not worth doing. Yeah, it's a bummer. Not next week on the show. I just said that out of force of habit. We got to talk about some things. We're making a big change to the show after 10 years. And we're taking some time. We're reducing the episodes to once every 2 weeks. Can't keep doing it weekly. We're just too busy, and we're running low on films too. That's the other thing. So, I mean, we're not. I've got a queue of like 250, but I think we all need a little bit more time to spend with them, and so. We're just reducing the schedule to once every 2 weeks. That's it. I don't have much else to say about it. I'm trying to make it sound positive, but it sucks for the fans, but it's super positive for us.
Yeah. And we have such a backlog of material that if you're new, you're still going to be... I calculated that it would probably estimated to take you 37 and a half days straight of not sleeping and only listening to the program to get through all of it. So
that's quite a bit.
There's... So much over a month.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 dipshits talking for hours.
So basically, if you cut that down to only listening to it, regularly, it's still going to take you a couple of years to listen to all of the episodes. So
yeah, right. So,
and by then, maybe we'll be retired, and we'll be like, "Shit, I'm bored. Let's pump out 6 episodes a week."
That would be ridiculous.
That would be excessive. I have lots of naps to take in retirement, Jackie.
Naps.
Naps.
So, yeah, I appreciate you guys being with us and understanding, but there's some burnout, and we got to have a little bit more self-time rather than rushing these out. So, next, in 2 weeks, after the Super Bowl, Jackie's pick will be here, and it will be
2010. Wait for it. You guys are going to be so excited. I'm bringing us to the next level with a Hasselhofer.
I'm tired.
Dancing. A Hasselhoff. Dancing Ninja.
Oh, boy.
It's on Tubi. It's free.
Okay. All right. Dancing Ninja in 2 weeks. See you then. Get to the chopper.